no, no, don't, no.
No, I had a soundtrack that had that song on it.
Oh, no, motherfucker,
No,
no.
I did not, no. I've
You owned
Nickelback album ever.
Nickelback Silver Side Up. Yes, you did. Yes, you
You're
did.
Somebody else.
No, I'm not.
Meagle.
Know that I'm here, and your white privileges are going to save you tonight, okay, guys?
Smooths itself out.
Tell you what I'll do if I ever get back. I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised.
That's right. It's time for the Dog and Chicken Show. Oh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 98 of the Dog and Chicken Show. Phil will be joining shortly, but without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy that's always right to my adjacent. I always get confused because, like, technically you're on my left when, like, this is my left arm, but you're on my right. It's weird.
All right, so we're starting out with a conundrum. Yes, to your right, Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe, folks. How we doing?
Good. Yeah, so going to be an interesting night since our YouTube channel, our main YouTube channel is kaput right now. Apparently, reading a Twitter thread is against the rules now. So we are streaming on our backup channel. So don't expect the views that we usually get or the spicy comments we usually get. So hopefully it still goes well. We still got our Facebook. We still got our Twitch, which, you know, speaking of Twitch, I just shared that story with you.
I don't know. You know, it's one of those things that people like to pretend like silencing and censorship and bans don't happen, and that, you know, big tech and social media companies are private entities and have the right to do whatever they want. But really, we all know that's a bunch of fucking horse shit. And that was pretty much verified this week. Was it not?
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, we got fucking, you know, a week-long ban on YouTube because on our last live show, Phil read a Twitter thread and Tucker Carlson did it. So we had Phil do it, and it was interesting. It was content. I mean, we did upload it like the live, the cut down version, and then another version. So we may have been playing with fire a little bit, but I don't see what we did wrong, especially considering you won one of two appeals. So yeah.
So let me go through the story on here, because this was really fucked up. So we do the live stream. The live stream gets no strikes, no nothing. Like YouTube's totally fine with last week's live stream, which we open with Phil reading Martyr Maid's Twitter thread. Then I cut the show into smaller segments and just, you know, a little easier for those that don't sit around for 2 hours and drink with us. I get it. So you want a little 20 minutes to entertain you on your drive home from work? We do those too. So I clipped that one and I got a strike on that one. And we clipped also just the Twitter thing. So one had additional content, which we were talking all kinds of mad shit. I wasn't surprised that one got a strike, honestly, because I was like, God, what did we say after Phil read that? But then just the one of the Twitter thread reading, which was very clearly stated that this is just a reading of Martyr Maid's thoughts. So that one got a strike as well. So the one that we actually commented on afterwards and actually talked more shit and said probably way more bannable things, YouTube gave me a thumbs up when I appealed that one. I said we did not go against anything. We were not saying anything about a certain thing that happened between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I'm afraid to even say the E word at this point. That happened back in November. That happens every 4 years. I know, right? Scary stuff. So they approved that one. I was like, oh shit, then the other one's gonna be fine. We're not gonna have any problems with the other one, right? And they denied that one. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how is that even possible? It's the same fucking content. Like, you allow it in 2 other videos, but not that one when it's trimmed out. And it's literally just a reading of a Twitter thread. I'm like, okay, so I get all bitchy and I get on Twitter, and I actually get a response from YouTube, and they're like, well, we'll look at it again. I'm like, okay, good. Like, maybe somebody just rolled out of the wrong side of the bed and they were like, oh no, Orange Man bad. No, fuck that video. So I was like, well, maybe I'll get somebody that rolled over on the other side of the bed today. And obviously it became very apparent that, I'm sure a lot of these videos get flagged by bots and shit like that. But when it's the exact same content on 3 different videos, and 2 get flagged of the 3, 1 gets approved, 1 gets denied, it's total bullshit at that point. There are no standards, no community guideline standards that make any sense. They are all broad, they're vague, and they're not meant to actually help a creator or anybody that's wanting to do anything like this. It's all a sham. It's all bullshit. So we are, of course, YouTube, unfortunately, is the superior platform when it comes to uploading, downloading, and fucking anything. It is superior product, but we are looking at alternative platforms to do this. I've looked at some like Tippy Stream. I'm trying to get in with Rockfin, which Rockfin's going to be a little tougher because you got to have a little bigger of a following usually to get on Rockfin. Facebook has surprisingly not been bad through anything in the last like 6 months. Facebook's kind of left us alone, which is kind of surprising because they were kind of the cunts there for a while. So anyway, those of you that are used to our backup channel, because I usually just posted weird news clips and stuff there. Sorry, you get to watch our Thursday shows live now since we're kicked off of our normal channel. So welcome to the Dog and Chicken Show, folks. Let's see. Oh, that was you in comments. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to refresh here in a second because it looks like I look like shit. But yeah, for those of you who... Yeah, it's a big shocker. Big shocker. I tried to make sure that no tablets or phones were being used before I came downstairs. And guess what? I lost that fucking battle. So Wi-Fi is a limited capacity for me. It's a game. But if you can see in the comments, folks, right here, this is the new
That's
YouTube
a backup channel.
It's the former Big Buckin' News backup page on YouTube. We'll be using both moving forward, but all the episodes, I've been slowly uploading every episode and all the COVID Chronicles onto this new page. So you'll be able to find all the episodes on both channels, but who knows how long the Big Buckin' Empire one will be around at this rate. So we figured we had to keep our presence on YouTube one way or another. So here we go. Please, would really, really appreciate it. Go subscribe to this one as well. We need to get our follows up. YouTube's been a motherfucker here the last couple months. So this is a battle we intend to win one way or another. And you are our army, our soldiers. Please, for the love of goodness and all that is holy, go over.
Way to go, Phil. Start an OnlyFans. Yes.
I know.
So that is something I've had issues with.
Doing this.
I have an OnlyFans set up, but I'm having problems because I was trying to name it after the show, but they want to verify like your ID and all that to set up an account and all that if somebody actually wanted to donate anything. And since my name on my ID is not Big Buckin', they are completely confused at OnlyFans. So I don't know if I just got to create a whole fucking new one. I don't know what I got to do at this point. I've sent my shit over 2 times and they're just acting retarded with it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, as we've heard, it's actually very, very difficult to set up an OnlyFans. I mean, you got to pay taxes. So, yeah,
don't want to have to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to have to do that. God forbid.
Oh no. Speaking of,
But no,
before we
that
get
is
in,
something we want to do because we've got a lot of saucy content that is set to private.
we
that
can't
would
do
love
our
to share
porn
with the
reviews
world.
on YouTube or Facebook. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't like tentacle porn. I don't understand why.
I don't know why. It's not like
I
it was
don't
that
know.
graphic. There was a little bit of pixelation.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Anyway, we have a ton of stories tonight. Of course, we talked to you got the Fauci and Rand Paul fight that happened again this last week. It's kind of old news, but we'll brush up on a little bit of that. We got all of your mask, vaccines, all the COVID updates, because get ready, folks. We're going for round fucking 3, apparently. And then let's see, quit talking about it. Change your name to Big. Okay, I'll legally change my name to Big Buck, and we can do that too. I like it.
It's not a bad idea. Just
no.
imagine having to have people address you, Mr. Buckin. Could I get your signature on this? Yes, that'd be Buckin, big exclamation point, because you got to throw that in too.
Yeah, got to throw that in too. All right, got to get stuff ready for vacation. Rub myself down with some Johnson & Johnson. Don't rub your Johnson with that.
Leave your browser
Anyway.
open so we at least get the extra view.
Yeah, there you go. Now, Tony's like, I just want viewership. It's all good. It's all
Getting
good.
subs back up.
So Phil will be joining, like I said, but one thing I wanted to talk to, this is kind of a last minute story that I just pulled up. I haven't even shared it with Tony or Phil, so it won't be a big problem with Phil not being here, but Tony might be a little surprised with introducing this one. Rent moratoriums come to an end Saturday. Joe Biden has no plans to stop the rent or to extend rent moratorium. So I'm trying to remember. So it was like 6 million in March. And I want to say it's still like 3.5 million, close to that, still are behind on rent today. So come Saturday, landlords are going to be able to start evicting people that are not paying rent. So that's a scary deal. Because that, $1,400 and then $600, that, technically it's $2,000. That was supposed to be enough to pay your rent for the year. Apparently, that's what the government helped you out with. But no, rent is due, and very potential. The potential of millions of people going homeless Saturday is 2 days away. This did not hit the news until I just saw articles on it this afternoon. I actually saw Jimmy Dore was the one talking about it. And I'm like, well, no fucking way. A YouTuber's got to fucking bring it up 2 days beforehand. And then Twitter kind of blew up with it today as well. So yeah, way to fucking go. Like 3+ million people likely going to get kicked out this weekend. Now, not to say it's all like scary landlords are bad. No, that's not where I was going either.
Sorry.
But like landlords are actually saying, hey, like we don't want to have to kick them out either, but we still need, like, we got bills to pay. Like where's the government rent assistance, like, to make sure if you're going to give assistance and create something like this, instead of just giving people stimulus checks, why didn't you give them rent assistance to where, they get money and then they have to pay us, and we could discount that and maybe get a tax break. Like there's a bunch of fucking things that you could have done to prevent this from coming, but you're 2 days out. You're fucking 2 days out from these people getting evicted, and you've done jack shit.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure Biden signed like 9,000 executive orders, and I'm pretty sure they all meant something important.
Listen here, fat.
This had to be one. Oh, sorry. My bad. You're right. My bad.
No, this is just really, really sad to see that. Let's see. I've saved each check in the tax refund. Just bought the house. Trump saved me from this. Yeah. There you go. Some people weren't as smart with their money, though. There's, like I said, 3 million or more potential.
Yeah, the people that really fucked around and wasted these checks because they thought this was all over. I mean, just what were you thinking? Down, Simba. Sorry, I was just yelling at my tiger.
Yeah, and then you got assholes like me that bought guns and stocked up on ammo.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're in that group.
And a lot of liquor.
Well, okay. No, those are essential. We dubbed liquor stores essential.
There's the only
right
stores
after
that were
the
still open. The only stores that were still
that's
open, gun stores and liquor stores. Like that's the only place I could shop.
So, okay, yeah, technically, yeah, you did the American thing until now. Now you're a piece.
Yeah. Yeah. Now definitely I am a piece of shit. The other one, so that like that's one I we're not really prepared for that story to really talk through. That I mean, that one's just one of those terrible failures of our government to protect anybody. One other headline I had just sent you guys like 20 minutes ago: Joe Biden insults unvaccinated Americans. In quotes, he says, "You're not nearly as smart as I thought you were." Now, this was in reference to a question a reporter had asked him about the unvaccinated people. But then I saw a quote tweet from somebody saying, right after it has the headline. Let me see if I can just share the Twitter thread, because this was a fucking hilarious Twitter thread. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I did see this before you shared it before we went live.
I seen it, but I didn't see somebody else's comments on it though. So somebody shared this and said, "Joe Biden, you do realize that most people that aren't oh God, what was it? It's a higher percentage of blacks and Hispanics are the ones that are unvaccinated," and just left it at that, and then shared this, and it was like, yeah, that's pretty rough, man. And then that's what kind of made me think about the rent issue. I'm like, well, who is that going to impact the most? I haven't researched it yet, but I have a feeling that it's going to be a higher level of minorities that are going to be impacted by rent moratoriums coming to an end. So yeah, I'm going to say it without saying it. If you haven't got the hint yet, what I'm getting at.
Well, yeah, I think we can all get what you're inferring, but I saw this video and it was one of those moments, and he has a lot of these moments where he's very, very, very confrontational with the media. Like, that's what Trump got chastised for 4 years, was being a dick to the press, right? Being a snarky, swarmy asshole. At least he was funny when he did it. Joe Biden comes across like he's about to murder a motherfucker. His attitude is just eye-gougingly confrontational. He's like, ugh. The way he just responds, like, he can't believe you just asked him the question. And it's a simple question. Like, you would expect to get asked a simple question like this. Oh, would you? Oh, you know the thing. Yeah, the thing. And he just responds in such a negative way. It's very, it's awkward. I don't know. It's just very offsetting. So I don't know. I don't love the way he handles the press unless they throw him softballs, and then it's chocolate chip, mint chocolate chip. Thank you.
I love the ice cream. Biden used to think I was way smarter, says Osama. Then he went senile, I guess. Whatever. Yeah. Matt Sieber gonna have to pay me more than $100 to get vaccinated. Yeah, I saw that. Like, okay, I don't think this is the wrong way to go about it. This is coming from I'm not like necessarily anti-vax. I'm just not lining up to take the first fucking round of this goddamn vaccine. I'm weighing my options. Like, I'm healthy. It's killed out of the 600,000. Like, a small percentage is under the age of 50. So. And I have no comorbidities, and it's like I'm weighing my real life options versus a potential vaccine that I don't know what it's going to do. So anyway, but this is the right way to go about it. If you really have people on the fence, now obviously I'm assuming Matt's not on the fence. I'm not on the fence. I've made up my mind. Now there are people out there that are like, man, I don't know. $100 isn't a bad way to get them over the fence. Other things companies have done was like give 3 vacation days, because like if you get the shot and you get symptoms and you're fucking kind of out for 3 days is kind of what some of the side effects have said. So, hey, that's a good incentive for people that need to get over the hump because they can't afford to take 3 days off of work and they might want to actually go get the vaccine. So I don't hate those incentive things. But at the same time, God, was it Phil that sent it, or was it Brendan? that like when you get paid to take a vaccine, it almost feels like a clinical trial. Like
It is a clinical trial. Like everybody who's getting it right now before it's FDA approved, this is a clinical trial. We are all part of the clinical trial. If you're willing to get it or not, if you've gotten it, if you're willing to get it, we're all part of a clinical trial, whether you like it or not. It has nothing to do with payments.
allegedly.
Allegedly. And we've been getting payments since last year. So technically, yeah, that's kind of exactly what this is, allegedly. But I don't know, man. I'm right there with you. Like, I didn't want to be first in line for the first batch, and I think we're kind of past that point. And now I'm like, well, I don't want to rush out and get the first one. I was kind of waiting around for the Moderna myself if I was going to get it, and that's the one I decided I wanted to get because our pediatrician was involved with developing that one. So I'm like, I trust him. If I'm going to trust one, it would be that one. And I do know it's available now at Walgreens in York, I believe. And I do know somebody who just got it. And what do you know? They had a bad reaction to it. Not like a bad, but they were really drawn down, very lethargic would be the best way to put it. But, again, it's been hotter than hell this week. The temperature's been in the 90s and it feels like well over 100. So chalk it up to whatever you want. But that's the one I want to get if I'm going to get it. And that is a drinking word. So we will have to drink.
Yes.
Let's gloss over what we're drinking.
Yeah, we did. So drinking words tonight. See him scrolling across the bottom there. Episode 98, Return of the Mask. Drinking words: Moderna, Pfizer, AstraZeneca. Did we spell these all right? I'm going to trust you.
We're going to assume that I did. All right. Let's not
okay. Johnson & Johnson. And if Tony's kids interrupt the show, which inevitably does happen. And then right now I am finishing off. I got a little mixed drink here, but then I'm going to jump over to Russell's Single Barrel, which I got sitting around the corner over there. I had three bottles to decide from tonight. So I'm curious how that one goes. All right. So what did we have for comments there?
Just talking about the expiration dates on the different variations.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It was like I saw one where a Moderna one was like made in like 2018 or something, or 2019. I was like, whoa.
Oh, the rabbit hole is going to get deep now.
Oh, I know. Wait, that could be edited.
Well, yeah, I can't. That's the problem with all the memes and the information that gets shared. Like the stuff
I could make him look better.
Well, see, that's just it. Like Phil shared something the other day about one of the death tolls, and I'm like, that looks really sketch as fuck. And then he shared an article, and I'm like, that article is literally where the meme came from. Wait a minute. This looks really sketchy now. Now I'm very confused. I trust the memes and the articles anymore about as much as I trust the government, allegedly. So it's very, very trying times. For me, I was thinking it was going to be an easy night, and I went with a very, very lovely personal favorite, the Macallan 15 Triple Cask. This is a fantastic scotch, and my God, it's an exquisite marriage.
Now I got to go get my bottle.
European and American sherry seasoned oak casks and ex-bourbon American oak cask. My God, you want a fantastic scotch that's not like overbearing in any way. Right here, baby. Macallan 15 Triple Cask. You will not be let down. This is a great one.
There we go. And there you go. There's my Russell's Reserve Single Barrel. And I'm going to crack this. I've never had this. I'm excited for a new one.
I have not had any Russells, and I've got 2 bottles of Russell's Rye behind me.
Yeah, I almost picked up a bottle of 10 today, but it was a full shelf. It's not in short supply, so I wouldn't have any hurry to get it.
That's the single barrel or the small batch that you've got?
I got this is the single barrel.
Single barrel bourbon. Okay. The 10-year is supposed to be really good. There's a new one out. It's a 13-year, and the internet is raving about it. So if you see the blue labeled 13-year Russells, jump all over it. Matt says he's drinking UV Blue and Mountain Dew, and I'm like, holy shit, is it 2002? UV Blue and Mountain Dew in like 2002. What are we in high school here, Matt? Jesus, man. It does sound good. Watch out, guys. Don Lemon said alcohol is worse for you than the vaccine. Well, yeah, he probably knows how much you drink. So, yeah, that's probably true.
I wake up every morning going, what's Don Lemon going to tell me today? I need to hear I need to hear Don Lemon's advice on life. My day will become better because I'm a teenage girl. Yes.
I wasn't assuming anything, Matt. Yeah, I have my alarm set to Don Lemon's silky voice telling me how I'm a piece of shit. That's how I wake up every day.
It's pretty strong. Oh,
I bet that's probably like 110 proof, isn't it?
Yep, it's a 110er.
I figured.
Like I gotta get over the alcohol sniff on there. It's gonna take a minute. I'll let that sit. All right, should we get into our opening story? We all caught up on comments. I did want to touch on a couple of those. Let's see. I want to go back to the Urasama one here. Oops. There we go. They extended the expiration date on Johnson & Johnson twice because no one wants it. Sounds really, really safe. Either way, so the Johnson, right? Yeah, Johnson & Johnson's kind of the old vaccine version. And all of like everybody's been the media, everybody, the other pharmaceutical companies have really gone after Johnson & Johnson because of or for whatever reason on their shot. Yeah, a couple drinks there. Anytime I see the mainstream media really going after an institution like a pharmaceutical company, I have a lot of questions. Now, I don't trust J&J, my child with his allergies and shit that's happened in the past. You know, Johnson & Johnson baby soap, that's not the vaccine. But like shit like that. Like actually made my child's eczema worse, made his skin worse because of unknown ingredients that were in there. They're actually causing more harm that they didn't actually state. And then there was all kinds of other shit that came out, you know, in the last 10 years. So yeah, I'm not a big J&J fan. But anytime the media and everybody like dog piles on anybody, I get sketch. I'm like, nah, especially with no like factual information articles that actually came up. Their baby oil, if I put it on my skin, I swell up. Yeah, exactly. It's a terrible, terrible product. And then I did enjoy this. I extended the expiration date on some shrimp the other day. It did not work as well.
That's pretty good.
I haven't tried that, I guess.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't try that. That'd be like getting the shrimp at the gas station. I just wouldn't do it.
Oh, no. There we go. Now I can smell it.
So yeah, I kind of advised people not to get the single shot just because there's kind of a stigma with the J&J, and I think people are saying that we're saying, I don't remember anymore, so this could have changed by now, but that it's less effective to get the single shot. People want to get one shot, I know, but it makes more sense to get the double shot. You know, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it right. It's kind of my thought process on it. So I don't know if you're going to do it right. Don't half-ass it and potentially waste getting one shot to begin with. You could have just skipped out and had the same effect or less. I don't know. You know, it's still early. Again, this is all clinical trial. This is all very, very new. We're still learning a lot of the data, and especially, and I hate to bring this even up, and I'm not going to dwell on much of it, but I've kind of been arguing with people all day online about, you know, COVID and vaccinations and everything. And I'm like, look, I'm going to get it when I'm comfortable getting it. I'm going to get the one that I want to get. And I'm not going to rush anything, and nobody should feel forced to, and nobody should ignore the politics that are attached to this stuff because it's very important to know all the details. And yeah, it's essentially the same thing that Joe Biden said in his press conference. If you don't get vaccinated, you're not very smart. Everybody who hasn't got it is a dangerous person and they're not very smart. Well, that's not really
Isn't it gross how quickly people just jump in and fall in line with that type of thinking? When how long ago? God, what was it? There was like, well, first there was like Stop All Asian Hate, and they're like all these like lib fucks. I'm not saying libtards anymore. But it's not, you know, people that voted for Biden necessarily. It's the people that just fall straight in line with whatever political rhetoric there is. Politics are not meant for NPCs. Okay. So everybody that hears Joe Biden say something, and then you hear AOC repeat something, and you go, that's what I must say moving forward. Yeah. You don't belong in politics. You don't have critical thinking skills. Please step aside, because you're making your side look stupid. And Joe Biden won't call you stupid, but I will. I will do that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm kind
That's
of
most of the people you
where-
talk to on your Husker board, isn't it?
100%. And it, it was funny because I've been trying to be more vocal about this stuff because I think that's the problem. There's a lot of people on there that have the same feelings that I do, but nobody feels. I'll get 12 if it turns me into an accident. Only if you get
Yes, Dalton.
you
I
have to get
agree.
6 in each testicle, though. So good luck with that. Allegedly, don't actually do that. Wink. But no, I think there's a lot of people that have the same opinions that I do, that we do, that are just afraid to voice those opinions, especially on social media, even on message boards where you're mostly nameless. You're hiding behind a keyboard. Your picture's not attached to it. Nobody's going to dox you. And people are still afraid to actually share their opinion because we've been so conditioned to keep anything that's controversial or even slightly against the grain to ourselves. So I wish we could break that barrier and actually have honest discussion. And that was really my whole point when I talked to anybody about this stuff the last couple of days, is I'm interested in honest discussion. And I mean, maybe once out of 10 would I get an honest response or discussion. Other than that, it was all political tribalism rhetoric bullshit, or I'm smarter than you and I'm going to be a swarmy asshole about it. So I wish we could get back to just normal, honest conversation.
I usually get something that references Donald Trump, and I'm like, "What the fuck? Where'd that come from?" Like, but you want to? I'm like, if you want to fight that game, let's fight that game. But that's not the original. That's not the original conversation. I don't know how this came up. Like, somebody brought up the bleach thing to me again yesterday. I was just like, "Fuck! I am dealing with a fucking NPC for sure." Like,
yeah, that was one of the things they kept bringing up Trump, and I'm like, look, it was developed under him, under his administration, and you know what? He's out of office, so it's really not his responsibility anymore, is it?
Remember the one which vaccine was it that they may have used some of Trump's DNA in, or was that a rumor? That might all been bullshit. I remember we were talking about that. I remember we were talking about it. They were going to use Trump's blood to help vaccinate people. It was like, oh my god, that'd be so great.
Well, it was after he got it because he was super immune, if you'll recall.
Yeah.
Immune out of everybody. It's tremendous immunity. Nobody's ever been as immune as me.
I hope someday we find out. That would have been so great. Oh God. Irasama says, I'd love to talk about it, but everyone who opposes it is afraid of Big Papa Zuck. It sucks. I'm not even worried about Zuck anymore. Zuck's kind of been he let up off the banning of everything. For us, at least, it's been more a Susan Wiki over on YouTube. Jesus, you can't even read off somebody's sentiment on a thought and a tweet or anything. Or that Trump blood rumor would single-handedly turn the entire left anti-vax. Oh my God, yeah, it would. It'd be
the
fantastic.
Other side of it.
It'd be amazing. It'd be great.
Oh yeah, it'd be tremendous. No, that was the other side of it, though. Like, somebody's like, everybody's going to say, "Oh, I can't believe there's people out there that haven't done it yet." I'm like, well, there's people out there that literally can't do it because they can't. They would probably get very, very sick if they got a vaccination. There are actually people out there, like the BYU student who literally cannot get it. So what do you want? But there's people who say, "Oh, I can't believe people don't get it," or why they're refusing it. I'm like, look, here's the problem. You want people who refuse to take it. Tell them they can't have it. Chicken, right now, if tomorrow they came out and said, "Chicken, you can't have it," you'd start going,
I'd be okay.
Maybe I actually kind of fucking want it.
Do you want the reverse psychology on this? Oh God. Dalton says if Batman took the vaccine, it could potentially turn into an actual superhero, but it's doubtful. Yeah, Batman.
He is. He is a super sleuth. All right. That's
whatever.
That's super in my book.
But that's some thick shit.
Jesus. All right.
All right.
Drink on principle.
Yeah, maybe. So you're getting into the vaccine mandate thing, so we can start there, I guess. It's a good segue into some of these stories. So I don't have an article pulled up because there's no definite anything on any of this. Now I've seen so they wanted to do federal employees across the board mandated to get vaccines was kind of what they were talking. But U.S. Postal Service Union or whatever came out and said, nope, we're not fucking doing that. So that was like, I think the first domino to fall. Now it sounds like it's kind of, we're going to say you have to get the vaccine, and if not, you have to be subject to testing on a regular basis, which, okay, like, then test them. Like, you can't do a PCR test because they're eliminating that one. It sounds like at the end of the year. So I hope you're using a reliable test. And I don't know, are you going to draw blood? It takes a couple days to figure out. And the problem is the science that they're using on this is not even some of the articles that I've seen posted. I think Sagar and Crystal, they used to do The Hill. Now they have their own YouTube channel. They actually went through and they found like the study that says, the between the Delta variant and whatnot, if you're vaccinated, like you're still not at huge risk or huge harm, and you're. It didn't make it. None of it made sense, and the CDC's using data from different variants in India, I believe was the model they were using, and they were using totally different vaccines over there. So it doesn't make any fucking sense to use the information from a different country on a different continent using different vaccines with a different variant, and then use that data to instruct people in the United States on where you should have a vaccine and wear a mask. Like, none of it makes sense. Everybody's been saying, follow the science, listen to the science, until the science doesn't make sense. And they say the science changed. No, the science never changed. You just cherry picked what you wanted to present to us. That's basically what I'm seeing right now. I think that's what we've seen for a year and a half, but in my opinion,
those are details, and details are dangerous, and you're dangerous for suggesting people should pay attention.
What's that quote? When you can't question science anymore, it's propaganda. It's no longer science.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't remember who said that, but
you did.
Somebody.
Now.
Yeah. Fucking A. I just did. quote tweet that shit. I'll go down in history. Yeah. Let's see. Urasama says, can't follow science without a scientific method, yo. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Until it hits politics. Yes, for sure.
I don't know. That's data. Data is so easily manipulated, and people just are so willing to ignore that fact and make up any way they can in their mind that that's not a verifiable thing. The data can be skewed. Nobody wants to admit that there are narratives being pushed. Nobody wants to admit that there's that this has been politicized from the very beginning. Like, can you imagine if this hit during like
did I do it again?
Obama's second term?
Fuck. Tony, I think we're off.
Probably kicked.
Probably.
Can you
there goes the backup channel.
Yeah, the backup's if this would have hit like during Obama's second tenure, like this would not have been blown up in the media like it was last year, because this was an election year. And I don't think it mattered who was in office or who was vying for position. I don't think that mattered. I think just alone because it was an election year and this was so very, very important to one party that this just got blown up in such a big way. And people don't want to admit that, fear played a lot of it. Fear played into the narrative. Fear played into everything. And we're still afraid. Like, a lot of people are still very, very afraid. And we're ignoring specific details that are verifiable and accusing other people of ignoring details that are verifiable. It's tribalism going past political parties. And now it's the new plant in your flag sports team mentality. And it's terrifying.
It is terrifying. So like Olympics viewership's down 49% because everybody's fighting online, because all of a sudden everybody wants to partake in scientific politics, I guess. Like, stop it.
Oh shit, that's right. It's time to pretend to care about obscure sports.
I just can't wait until all these dipshits right now like get 10 years older and go, oh my God, I said that on Twitter. They get a backup to the backup. Yes, we're gonna.
I think social media all social media should do what Facebook. I'll give this to Facebook. Facebook does Facebook memories. And every day it reminds you of shit that you said 12 years ago. And I will scroll through that.
Sometimes I cringe.
Oh, no. Delete. Oh, share. That's still good. Oh, I'll pretend like I just came up with that right now. Maybe 28-year-old me wasn't fucking stupid.
Sometimes I untag myself from pictures that I get memories on.
Exactly. That's a great feature. I will give Zuckerberg that.
Yep. Yes. You can't stop evolution, says Matt. Even the smaller microbial aspect, until they understand why it's happening, we will never understand how to fight it. If you understand the why, the how becomes more apparent. Well, I don't think anybody that actually has power over anything right now ever gave a fuck about why. They only cared about the how, and the how was how to get more power. And you're seeing the power grab and the never let go. And when they started to see it slip over the last few months, they're like, mandates, masks, vaccines, and the memes come out. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. That's where we're at. And today, another one of the things with the whole vaccination statistics was the Pfizer drink is 93% effective in preventing contracting COVID, right? Well, I looked up how effective is it against the Delta variant, and that number drops to 88%. And I'm like, that's pretty significant drop considering how early we are into the variant. You can't tell me that 88% isn't going to keep dropping at a pretty steady decline, because that's what happens when these things mutate. And we said this stuff from the get-go. Like when we first talked about coronavirus on this show, we downplayed it quite a bit before we had a lot of information, before the whole thing blew up, because we didn't think it was going to be that big a deal. But right from the get-go, we said, hey, no, eventually this is going to mutate, and we'll have vaccinations for this thing, and it'll be like the flu where you have to get a different one every year, and it'll only prevent against specific strains, and eventually it'll be a mutated thing that's, we can live with, because that's how these things survive. If they don't mutate, they don't survive. And hey, what do you know? The science was right. The science that we thought we knew, we actually knew. But I just don't want people losing their fucking minds. I don't want to see happen this year what happened last year. And if what happened last year, the meltdowns, the lockdowns, the losses of jobs, and all the chaos that ensued, if that happens this year, this is going to go back into the politics of it. Can you really blame Trump anymore at that point? If the same shit happens under Biden's watch and history is doomed to repeat itself again, you can't really blame Trump for most of that shit anymore, because you're just seeing basic human nature when they're pushed to the limits and fear takes over. So, if you're a true Biden supporter and a harsh Democrat, maybe think about your surroundings and your attitude before you go hoping for more lockdowns, because it's not going to be a good look. It's not going to be a good look if history repeats itself.
Just look at France right now. France is January 6th is what we're all supposed to think was the worst thing that ever happened in the United States since the Civil War. It's like the worst thing according to Joe Biden. But if you go look at France right now, they are literally storming their local courts, local town. Oh, I don't even know what they call them over there. I guess it would be like our local fucking county seats or whatever. They're throwing like President Macron's fucking pictures out windows. They're rioting all over the goddamn place on government buildings. Like France is like, we talked about this 2-3 months ago, that military leaders in France were warning, like, we need to be careful. We are about to have a civil war in France, and it's continuing to escalate. And it just, not saying it's exactly the same here, but Jesus Christ, you keep pushing. I take this back. This is something I've wanted to talk about on the show for a long fucking time. There was an old TikTok video, like at the beginning of all this, like when everything was racist, right? When the woke thing got mixed with COVID and everything turned into racist. If you don't wear a mask, you're racist. If you don't stay home, you're a racist. Like, and it was just getting ridiculous. And I saw this truck driver. It was just a black dude sitting in his truck, and he just started recording himself. Very down to earth type feel to the whole video, and he goes, "I'm just gonna warn y'all, calm the fuck down." Now, granted, this is like October, November, I think, when this video he made. He goes, "I just want to warn y'all, you keep pushing these fucking white folk, eventually they're gonna fucking push back, and it ain't gonna be pretty." And like when January 6th happened, that was the video that popped into my head. I go, "Holy shit, did that guy just fucking predict all this?" Like, but like that aside,
no, he did not.
That's a TikTok video I will never forget, because it's not just about like you keep pushing the white people. It doesn't matter who it is. You keep pushing people in general into a direction they don't want to go, or they're hesitant to go. Eventually they're going to be like, all right, I've fucking done this enough. We had 14 days there, 15 days to stop the spread. It's now 15 months. Like eventually people just go, all right, bro. All right, I'm done following you, because you have done nothing but ruin people's lives. You put our kids fucking 8 months behind in math. Like it at a certain point, they're gonna start equating like what were the benefits versus what we've lost. And when the scales of justice in gain versus loss start tipping in the wrong direction, to where people go, the government that I leaned into and trusted, even the ones that were begging for the government to just do everything, when that weight tips the wrong way, even the NPCs will go, okay, there's a glitch in the matrix. We gotta backtrack here, because this is not a winnable fight anymore. You're gonna see people start getting impacted, and I just pray that nothing goes too far. I really pray people fucking just start going, okay, I gotta ask some questions here. That's all I want anybody to start doing. Like, so you're telling me that I need my child to go back to school and wear masks, even though they know those facts, they know the things. Like my county that I live in is, like, I think 85% vaccinated, and there's people asking, are you going to have your kid wear masks at school? And to the credit of most of the people that were on that Facebook page, I'd say probably 70% were an absolutely hell no, I'm not doing that to my child. And there were a few that were like, yeah, but everybody was respectful about it. And like, they're like, well, my kid's not going to, but he's not going to, shame anybody else who is. Like, do what you got to do, folks. But like, there's counties that are 85% vaccinated that are going to go, no, you have to wear a mask when you go back to school. Why? 85% of the people are vaccinated. That's past the herd immunity level, even by Fauci standards. Like, come on. Like when people don't start using logic and when they don't use the logic and the numbers that are presented to them in a fashion that makes fucking sense to live your life by, I can't protect these people anymore. I can't stand by them. I just have to start calling them out.
Well, that's just it. Like the conversation goes from, hey, you need to put your mask on, or you need to get vaccinated. Well, I'm vaccinated. Well, you still need to put your mask on, because you could give it to me even if you are vaccinated. Well, aren't you vaccinated? Well, yeah. So why aren't you wearing a mask? Well, shut up, racist. Yeah.
It's the lowest IQ response that I typically get. Yeah.
It's people want to use only the facts that are convenient for them and completely dismiss everything else. And I'm like, damn it. Like, if you don't get vaccinated, say we get to like 75% of the country is vaccinated. Say we get to that number. I'd be shocked if that ever happened.
We're at like 69%, aren't we?
Are we really that high? I don't know.
I think that's one dose. I don't think that's full vaccination.
Okay. Oh, okay. That probably said fully vaccinated. So if we get to that point, isn't it really the people who are choosing not to get vaccinated at that point that are at the most danger, theoretically? Because even though vaccinated people can still give it to you, even in rare cases, whatever, even if you're not vaccinated and a vaccinated person can still give it to you, aren't you the one at risk if you chose not to get it then? How is the vaccinated person at risk at that point?
They're not.
Statistically speaking, they shouldn't be.
Right.
And if masks work and they still choose to wear a mask, it's just, at one point it comes down to personal choice, and people just aren't comfortable letting other people have a personal choice. And that, damn it, that's really scary too.
It is. All right, first and last episode on the backup channel. We're doing really well.
I know. I didn't think we were going to be this controversial with the shit we talked about, but god damn it, like I couldn't help it.
Well, it's not controversial to most people. That's the fucking
myth-house.
problem.
It is though. It should
Only two
Free
people that are
speech.
afraid to talk about things.
Ugh.
10-2-10 man
I'm
says,
not
like
gonna
an
sit here and
old.
pretend like I know shit.
I know, right? 10-2-10 man says, like an old poem, it wasn't preached to the crowd. It was taught by the state. No one spoke it aloud when the English began to hate.
Very nice.
So
Yeah,
ominous.
I don't know, man. I'm just free speech is almost dead. Free will is dying, and everybody's just like cheering
Oh,
and clamoring for.
Did you see this? Did you see this? Michael Rappaport,
What's
he's
that?
usually the one that's all like super pro Fauci, pro Biden, the anti-Trump guy. The
Let's
actor
talk
that
about
cusses a
that
lot.
and then get into. Let's talk about that and then get into the Fauci rant.
Well, so this proves
Awesome,
my statement before. Of eventually, even the people that are against, and just follow the state. Michael Rappaport's a really good example of this. He was a guy that was just like, listen to the experts, listen to Fauci, fuck Trump, go for Biden, and now even he's going, you're telling me I got a fucking vaccine and you want me to wear a fucking mask again? Fuck you. Like he's getting pissed about it. So they are coming around. Not all of them are NPCs. Some of them were just
see that.
yeah.
It's that light bulb moment. Like it's the I'm waving my flag over here and fuck you if you disagree with me, and then suddenly somber, mellow attitude light bulb moment, just it goes off and you're just like, wait a minute, I did everything you asked of me and you're still telling me I'm not doing enough, and you're calling me a super spreader. What the fuck is this? I was in your corner.
Yeah, he goes, don't you call me no fucking super spreader.
Yeah. Damn it. Okay, let me just say this so we don't get booted off of Facebook or a new YouTube channel, because this is all allegedly. Again, we don't know shit. We're not scientists. This is all opinion based. And if you get on the internet and Google any question or topic, you are going to find multiple, countless opinion pieces, and not one of those are fucking censored. Those are available for anybody to read, and they are opinion pieces. And that's what this is. That's what this show is. That's what this podcast is. This is an opinion piece. And we are only talking about the opinions that we have based off of the knowledge that we have and the knowledge that we are given from other people, whether or not we know if it's verifiable, factual, or true. Because guess what? We don't know who to trust or what to believe anymore. And digging around and finding it is very fucking tiresome. And sometimes it's almost too goddamn difficult to figure out what is true, what is fact. And you know what? Sometimes it's just like, well, fuck it. This sounds good. This fits with my narrative, and I'm just going to go with this. And if somebody tells me that it's wrong and they can show me, then I'll just go with that. It's fucking exhausting. But we are just sharing opinions here. So everything we're saying, it's not fact. We're just stating our opinion.
Love this. Ursam says Rappaport's accent was actually what started the coronavirus, allegedly. And then Lynn follows up, Rappaport is still a douche, in my opinion, in a video game. Yes.
Yeah.
Dalton, crime went sky high after the last mask mandate. Shout out to all the gas station and liquor store workers out there. Y'all my real MVP for sure. Yeah, it had to have been scary in some neighborhoods in this country when that shit was going fucking off the fucking chains. That was nuts. If something horrible happens, says Urasama, to the vaccinated, the unvaccinated are proof the rest of us people have been tricked and maligned by their government. Gotta get that full vax rate.
I don't know if it's proof, but it's definitely a bad look. I don't think
it's a bad look. It's a bad look for those that are saying, well, we all have to wear masks because people didn't get vaccinated. And I'm like, the fact that a vaccinated person would have to start wearing a mask shows you like less trust. Like that's my problem with the whole thing of going back to mask mandates is, doesn't it just show that they like this isn't working? Like what are you trying to show with this? Is it to bully and scare people into it, or is it to punish those that followed your rules I don't see the outcome here. I don't see
Yeah.
how this helps vaccine acceptance. This is going to cause more vaccine hesitancy. Those that were already going, I don't know, I don't really trust it, you know, conspiracy theory or not conspiracy theory, they're going to look at this and say they're still making you wear a mask after you've been vaccinated, even though it protects you from 95% of you know, chance of actually getting sick from this and being hospitalized. That's one 95% non-hospitalized fact, but I still have to wear a mask. Why? Like, people are just generally going to ask those questions, and they're going to say, well, what the fuck? If I have to wear it anyway, who gives a shit? Like, this is not good to reduce anti-vax sentiment if that's what they're trying to push. It's a fucking stupid idea. This is the worst move you can make. But I'm not surprised
I think the thing
from
that
this
people-
administration.
No, I'm not surprised. I honestly think we probably all kind of expected it. And, you know, Phil was calling it COVID-20 last year. You know, it's new. They slapped a scary name on it, and that's fine. You know, we knew a variant mutation.
We have Delta right now. The next one's gonna be Gamma.
So, whatever scary name we want to call it doesn't change the fact that this was expected. This was inevitable. Variant. Like, this is just science. Like, this is verifiable science. Viruses mutate, viruses change, viruses adapt to survive. That's how it works. And this is nothing new. We said this last year. The thing that I think people kind of forget about is even the experts, to a certain extent, have to assume things, you know, because their science only goes so far, because they're doing the research, they're doing the science stuff, you know. They're only learning so much at a time. The other stuff they have to kind of make up as they go along, and then they field the results and they chart that, and then they go back and they try it again. So this is all still a work in progress, folks. We're a year and a half into this, and it's not that old. It feels like it's been 10 years, but it's only been like a year and a half.
Yeah. Ursama says the second mask mandate is probably there to cause the vaccinated to treat unvaccinated with more scorn. I doubt people will realize the logical fallacy behind it. I agree. And Lynn, welcome over to the YouTubes. Yes. Ursama says coronavirus will end when we're all living in government-owned pods, sitting in the back of self-driving electric cars and renting everything we own.
Now, hang on.
Maybe.
Hang on. Does that mean I won't have to
wait? Sex robots involved in that? I'll sign up.
That was my next question. My yard is really long right now because my mower's all fucked up. I really need to get it mowed, but if I don't have to mow my yard anymore, I might be on board with a pod. And yes, is a sex robot included? And for those of you who like the sex robot talk, just wait until you see the best stuff from 2020 that has COVID Chronicles episode 20. It's a good one.
Yeah, that one was good. We might just drop that one separate too, just that little portion.
That portion alone is worth the watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one was pretty good.
All right. So if we're going to talk about it, let's move over to the Fauci rant stuff.
Well, real quick though, so this is the one other thing. Oh god damn it, never mind. Yeah, never mind. I was gonna pull up. So Las Vegas requiring indoor masks in casinos. Mask mandates reimposed locally in defiance of state and CDC guidance. So all this mask info in like places that are gonna start pushing this. I'm trying to find the site here. CDC cases by county. This is how our government right now is pushing for mask mandates. So this is going to be by county from all things that I've seen so far. Now I found it. Let's share this screen here so you can see the info that we are going to be using moving forward. Guess what, folks? We got a new map. Yeah, buddy. Now,
whoa.
this main screen.
Scary.
Yeah, all the red, super scary, super spreaders, all you red counties, you sons of bitches. So this is level of community transmission. I do not have any fucking clue how that is measured, but they measure it once a week apparently. And then you have cases. Let's let this update real quick. Takes a second, apparently. government websites never go fast. Hey, it doesn't look so scary all of a sudden. In the last week, these are the cases we had. Like Nebraska has none because they quit sharing that information, apparently. I'm guessing. I don't know. Missouri's got some hot spots. So these are actual cases counted. So depending, this is probably like anybody who goes to work and they say, hey, because the CDC, we got to start wearing masks at work again. This is what I would probably ask your employer, like, where are you getting your information? What guidelines are we following? Because I've seen just in my line of work, several different rules. One was level of community transmission, which they're like you can't find the data on this. Cases makes the least amount of sense because it doesn't talk about hospitalizations. Just because somebody gets sick doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong or something bad. Let's just zoom in here. I see looks like Kansas City reported cases. It gives you a color. So that's 1,000 to 5,000 apparently. Gives you all the detailed information of how many are vaccinated in that area. So no matter what you have for cases, you get to see not only how many are vaccinated, you can kind of go through and see, 7-day, how this is looking. So if you want to question your employer's decision making or even your state, or if you wanted to write to your, local representative or senator, and you run into issues like this and they're telling you wear masks where it doesn't make sense, or you have, this is where you're going to find the data. This is what they're using. This is what they're following. So just wanted to share that with the viewers at home. If your employer tells you wear a mask at work, you fucking asshole, you super spreader, pull up the data, make sure, maybe you are in a bad area and maybe you need to,
trying to help you, motherfucker.
But covid.cdc.gov, they have a COVID data tracker by county. And right now, of course, it looks super scary. The whole country's in red. We're all going to die. That's what they like to do with these. So dig into the information. Most of it.
True. Eventually we all die. Like,
yeah,
it might not
they're not
be
lying
COVID,
to you,
but eventually everybody dies. Yeah.
They're not lying to you. I'm curious. Where am I here? I'm going to see what my county is. Let's see here. Oh, wow. My county's only 50%? I thought, 40. At least one dose is 51. Oh, only half of my county. I thought it was higher than that. I wonder if I was looking at I think maybe I was looking at old people.
You're just being way too humble. You knock that shit off.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, we're only in yellow. Population density per square mile. So yeah, man, that's a lot of info to actually work through. But yeah, super scary map actually turns into super not scary issue. So if you're in a yellow or orange, in some cases, you are gonna be forced to wear masks in certain counties and in different work sites. So it's super weird. I'm not. Now, if we did hospital utilization, wonder what that looks like.
Lynn, we were told masks are back on for everybody regardless, just waiting on federal employee vaccine mandate to get pushed. It'll be that, or also the option of frequent testing, which...
Yeah, you'd have to
depending
do
what you
testing
want.
daily.
Yep, daily testing. Yeah, it is what it is. Rasama, the vaccine is too cool. People with silver bullet is to wear ones. At work, of course, yes. So... I don't know. Again, this is another map, and yes, it can look scary, and we can make it look any way we want. You just got to choose what you want to believe at this point. Like, and I think that's the problem. People choose what they want to believe and pick and choose, and some things just get ignored, and it's unfortunate because you got to remember there's usually two truths, and the actual truth is usually somewhere in the middle. So just be mindful, and just don't be an asshole.
So when they, this is the other part about data I really love to always point out. Whenever you see CNN, like, cases are up 100%, 16. There's 16 cases.
So there were
It's up
8.
100%. 16 cases
So there were 8.
out of 432 tests. Okay. Got it. That's where you get your information, folks. That's what they're using to scare the shit out of you with. All right, we can move on. What was the next one? We want to talk about some Rand Paul.
Real quick, before we do that, there was a comment we need to address real quick. Let me scroll back up. Lynn asks, anything special planned for the big 100 episode? I better be in on it, and it better be fucking live. Yes, it will be live. We do know that much. We haven't decided exactly what we're going to do yet, but yes, we do want to make it big and special, and we're only a couple weeks away.
Should we start calling random people like we did on a post show one night?
Yeah, I think we got to get controversial with that one. At least be funny and not be all melancholy, controversial, and sad about stuff we can't control. Let's have fun. We want to have fun with this one.
We're definitely going to talk some sex robots.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
I'll probably do a live demonstration for 100 with whatever I can come up with. I might have to make my own. It's almost complete, so I'll keep it as PG-13 as I can, but I can't make any promises. Winky face. Okay, no, I'm totally kidding. I'm not.
100th episode, they're bringing on an actual sex robot.
Yeah. See, exactly. Ursa knows what's up. No, that
I'm gonna have to have Kevin come over for that one.
Oh my god. Oh my god, people, go back and watch COVID Chronicles 20. It's the goddamn greatest, most uncomfortable thing you've ever seen. Everything that we talk about, Kevin, is just so utterly pissed and uncomfortable. He's like, I don't get it. I'm pissed. I hate you all right now.
Yeah, that was a great night.
So much fun. But yes, 100 will be special. We'll figure it out. We'll probably be very inebriated, and we'll do as much funny shit as we can. So if there's something you want us to do or talk about, anything, please, suggestions, tell us now so we can start planning accordingly.
Yes.
All right. Let's talk it.
Sazon. Taped to the mic.
No. Okay, no.
Okay. All right. Moving on. So we all saw the story with Rand Paul and Dr. Fauci. If you hadn't, so Rand Paul called Fauci out for the NIA. Oh God, I can't remember the name of that goddamn organization he runs. Basically, gives government funding to NIH grants. Gave it to a certain doctor who then used it on research. Now I'm going to be careful with my words here, Susan Wiki. Used it on research that Rand Paul claims could happen to be something that sounds kind of like the definition of gain of function research. Yes. So with that whole conversation, the yelling that they had back and forth, this is where we got to see the real Fauci. Fauci actually started to push back and get angry. So this is something we've never seen before out of Dr. Fauci when it comes to him getting irritated or slightly annoyed. We've seen a little bit of that, but he literally got pissed in this one. And what happens to people when they get caught into a lie? They typically get pissed. Draw your conclusions from there. It really looked like somebody who got caught with their pants down and was wanting to totally deny and push back on here.
I mean,
but
honestly, yes, it did look that way. But yes, you can also imagine if you're Dr. Fauci and you're in that position and somebody's accusing you of lying to Congress, you'd be pretty fucking pissed, even if it was true or not true. It doesn't really matter. You'd be pretty damn annoyed and frustrated and pissed off about it. So I can understand his reaction either way. But yeah, it didn't look good. It did not look good.
Okay, Susan, I'm going to read some quotes out of a news article, a certified news article from a reputable source. Okay, and this is also on video all over YouTube of the argument between Fauci and Paul. I'm just going to read what they said. I'm not going to reenact it. I'm just going to read it, and verbatim, there's quotations on the screen, Susan. Don't kick us for reading something somebody else said again. Really appreciate, the consideration. So as you alluded to, Rand Paul had said, hey, have you ever lied to Congress? So he responds, I have never lied to Congress before, and I do not retract that statement, Fauci said. This paper that you were referring to was judged by qualified staff up and down the chain and is not being gain of function. Now, up and down the chain, what do you think that means, Tony?
I would assume chain of command, right?
Bureaucratic government officials that are approving and denying government grants to people that need research money.
Yeah. Okay.
And maybe invested, possibly, could be, don't know.
Allegedly.
Yep. So Paul asks, when you take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans, you're saying that's not gain of function. Fauci then replies, that is correct, Senator Paul. You do not know what you are talking about. The senator said, they're gain of function viruses because they were animal viruses that became more transmissible in humans, and you funded it. You won't admit the truth. And then Fauci kicks back. If anyone is lying here, Senator, it is you, adding, this has been evaluated multiple times by qualified people to not fall under the gain of function definition. I have not lied before Congress. So the definition that they are using, according to Dr. Fauci, is going to be the legal standard. And so this is something, again, we've talked about for the last fucking year and a half, is the changing of definitions to allow you to fucking do horrible, horrible things. So what happened was President Obama actually put a stop to gain of function research because of the dangers of it. And Congress was scared. Everybody was like, hey, why the fuck are you trying to make diseases transmissible to humans? Like, stop it. That's scary. So they said, stop funding it. Well, in 2014, this grant went through, but apparently, according to Fauci here, that definition, the gain of function definition, has changed in NIH to allow them to fund whatever the hell happened. That's what I'm taking from this.
So basically, the government said, hey, you can't do this anymore. So the workaround was change the definition so you could still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound shady as fuck at all. No, that's perfectly within reason, and nobody should question anything. Details don't matter. Get your vaccination.
And put your mask on. Fucking.
Yes.
Goddamn super spreaders.
No, pay attention to the details, goddammit. Do what's right for you, people. Do what's right for you. Do what you're comfortable with, but pay attention to the fucking details. Politics, unfortunately, in this instance, do matter. So, yeah, you do have to pay attention as much as you can, and as much as you really want to, honestly. But don't just believe everything, especially from us, because we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. We're idiots, allegedly.
Did you read through all these comments already?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Hold on. Do we want to talk about this one kind of in between? I don't know. We're gonna go back to Olympics. We can kind of touch on that later. I do have an Olympic story.
Yeah, we'll get that. Tanjui Man says spicy episode tonight. Wonder why he thinks it's so spicy. I don't know. Why do you? Yeah, but he is right. Yes, drop a flying elbow on the subscribe button.
It's way over there.
It's like Macho Man. Bam.
Hit that shit. Hit that shit.
Rope. Big time.
What's with the boner pills, Dalton? I don't know what's going on here.
Well, when you had that article up, Dalton was wondering what the ad to the right was. It was like somebody on their bloomers from the 1920s playing pool or something. It was very.
Oh yeah.
It was very erotic. I was.
Yeah, there's a big hole in her pantaloons, apparently.
Oh, whoa.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they used to poop.
Gotta love the bloomers, folks. All right, so there you go. All right.
That's how people used to
answered. Poop. All right.
Good
night, everybody.
Yeah, no shit. No, I think that's really important. I'm really glad we got to pass on some knowledge to Dalton.
Yes, exactly.
We haven't got to use that in a while, so
I know. Well, why? Because Urasama brings up a great point. It used to be completely fine to have episodes like this. Screw. Well, hey, let's not shit on anybody. YouTube's great, and we'd like to thank them for having the Dog and Chicken Show channel on their wonderful
allegedly
platform.
Great.
Yes, it's very allegedly great. Yeah, it was fine. That was the thing. Like, I'm listening back to all our old episodes from last year, cutting down and trimming down the best ofs from last year, and I'm like, man, we used to say some really racy and controversial shit, and now we can hardly say a fucking thing, and it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It really sucks because yes, they've shadow banned us allegedly. They've
guaranteed
basically hidden us in the search results. Like the Big Buckin' News channel, before we turned it into the Dog and Chicken Show channel, the backup, had 25 subscribers. And I could find that just by typing in Big B-U-C-K, and it would pop up in the search results. I couldn't get Big Buckin' Empire to pop up when I typed into the search bar.
Even though Empire. The address name was youtube.com/BigBuckin.
Yeah. Could not get that to pop up in the search results until I punched it all in word for word, letter for letter, and maybe then it would pop up. Like, they did their best to hide us from the public, allegedly. And yeah, subscribers, and yeah, we need as many of you as we can get, but they've hidden us from you people as well who've already subscribed to us. So again, you are our army. Everybody who sees this, please, you got to stay loyal to us. I promise the payoff will be worth it in the end. When we are your rulers, we will be merciful rulers.
All right. Let's work on getting kicked off of this one. I got two more good stories
already tonight.
Oh, I got two great stories though. If what we've said so far hasn't done it, one of these two might.
I could just imagine Phil watching everything.
That's probably why Phil hasn't joined yet.
Oh no, he's just sitting there like on his way home listening to this go, I can't believe they're fucking talking about this. Why would they do this? Why are they doing this?
Because we get a week off. We got a week off from having to fucking self-censor on our main page. If I get a week off from not having, it's a week off from not having to self-censor. I really don't give a shit right now. It's great.
Organic conversation that happened naturally used to be our bread and butter, but they said that's not nice anymore.
This shit used to be our bread and butter too. If you guys hadn't seen this yet, reporter asked Joe Biden yet. Tony's like, oh fuck, I know where this is going. Tony is 100% correct. So, if you haven't seen this yet, a reporter asked Joe Biden, do Democrats want to... What the fuck is going on upstairs? Anyway, do Democrats want to defund the police? Guess what his response was? Hopefully you can hear this.
Are there people in the Democratic Party who want to defund their president?
Are there people in the Republican Party who think we're sucking the blood out of kids?
I'm not sure.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, what the ever living shit. What was that? Like, honestly, I'll be honest. I first saw that and I'm like, okay, that was actually pretty good. Good for you, Joe. Good for you. I kind of liked it. I kind of liked him going there. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was a bad take. It was I get it. Like I like in real life, I get like this could be such a ridiculous claim that you want to throw it back into a reporter's face.
Exactly.
But there's fucking cameras on you. You're the president of the United States. You're not supposed to repute QAnon fucking things. Like, oh my God.
I take this with the same scale. Can you imagine if Donald Trump said that?
Yeah.
There would be no news. There would be no news this week because that's all that you would see. If you got on Google and said, "Hey Google, how do I make a birdhouse?" Did you hear what Donald Trump said today? Like, Jesus, no, that like I found it hilarious, but no, that this is not one of those scenarios where it's equal either way, because had this been said last year by our president, oh my God, the shitstorm that would have ensued. Basically, even the Biden supporters at this point are just ignoring.
Yeah, they're like, I don't want to talk about it.
Man says, we don't talk about it. We don't acknowledge it. Hell, most of the Democratic Party in general, if they say something stupid, we pretend like it doesn't happen. And you'll know what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to say it on air, but that video that you shared of AOC the other day, guess what? I posted that in the fucking liberal goddamn Hall of Fame. And guess what?
Crickets?
Crickets. Fucking crickets.
Yeah. Let me find here's the other one from this week as well. This is another classic. Like, Biden just has the hits. The hits just keep coming from our POTUS here. Listen closely, folks. Here it comes. Oh, stupid damn thing. All right.
You're being
What must be what?
like, that doesn't even sound like his voice.
What must be what?
I don't even think that's him talking. I know what it sounds like, okay? I know what it sounds like. I don't believe that's what he said. But I don't believe that's even him talking. I know.
His mouth does move. This video sucks. Because it's all choppy for whatever reason.
Oh my God, Ursum was right. Add that to the soundboard.
Yep, it will be. Let me try a different one.
I don't think he said my butt's been wiped. Yes, it sounds like it, but there's a fucking chopper going. Come on.
Must it be a reconciliation?
What must be what?
I don't know
What else would he be saying? She's asking about any updates on reconciliation. I don't know what else could fit in there.
Okay, I know it. Okay, I get it. Any updates on reconciliation? Well, my left cheek and my right cheek were really at ends, but there's been a the thing, and my butt's been.
You know the thing.
Must it be a reconciliation?
What must be what?
The remixes online are great. I gotta pause it because otherwise we'll definitely get a strike on shit like that. But
Tony, do you think he just walks around with a poopy butt? No, I don't think he was announcing to the world that his butt's been wiped, because that's usually implied. I don't think he said that. I'm sorry. I know it sounds like it, and it's funny, yes, but
Tony, there's one thing on the show we've always followed.
We choose truth over facts.
You're right.
My butt's been wiped.
By his logic alone, you're right. He said his butt's been wiped. You're right. By Joe Biden's words. We believe in truth over fact. Okay, there you go. You're right. I would don't think like to know.
Ursama says, I don't think Kamala would allow. Is it Kamala or Kamala?
Yes.
I still don't know her first name necessarily. I don't think would allow that. I think she's the one that has to do it. That's how she gets. That's how she gets to take over someday. She's.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, in 2 years from right now, when she is president, you'll know how to pronounce her name. Don't you worry. But honestly, I wouldn't really like to know what the fuck actually said. I want to know what he actually said. I really do. I want to know. Okay, I want to know what he was trying to say, because I don't think it came out right. Regardless.
Yeah, it didn't come out right. Whatever it is. Oh boy. Joe Biden says, Ursama, this is the most comprehensive election.
No, don't say
if he said this, he will tell us. I'm not. I'm going to skip over that part. Will tell us his butt has been wiped. Okay. It's like the curse.
Yeah, no.
He's not reading it.
Phil literally just threw his phone while trying to watch this right now.
No! Now streaming on KOE Nation as well. No, just kidding.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if we just
He'd
only
be
went
fucking
live
losing
on
his
KOE
mind
Nation
right now.
tonight?
Oh God, he'd be so pissed. He did say that's the backup to the backup, so that might be next, Phil.
Well, we're burning through these platforms pretty quickly after tonight's episode, it sounds like. But hey, we'll be there. I don't, what I think when it comes down to it, I think he's going to tell us to get fucked and find our own platform.
Urasawa says, I was quoting the friggin' president, but good call. yeah.
Hey, you can't even do that today.
Yeah. I only get 300 characters to respond to Wiki when she decides to take down a video. So she can send me an email 3 pages long telling me absolutely nothing. It's 3 pages long saying, you broke our rules that we will not tell you what they are. And you can appeal here. So when I go to appeal, it's 300 characters. So I can't give like any detail. Like I have to be as brief and to the point as possible. It's fucking awful. It's ridiculous.
TikTok is somehow worse. TikTok is somehow.
I'm so glad I haven't had to deal with any issues on TikTok yet.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've pushed the bar quite a bit on it. The one that really pissed me off was on my second or third account. I can't remember which one it was. There was like, you're scrolling through the videos, you scroll, and there's this lingerie model with like 1 million followers. And the video was just her.
I like where you're going with this.
Spinning around wearing this like lingerie, right? Like, okay, cool. I'm like, oh my God, brilliant. I'll stitch this. She'll be the first like 3 seconds, and then it'll just be me like, hey, I want followers. Follow me. Like, that's brilliant. People will see it because if you stitch with someone, you put in the right hashtags, shitloads of people see it. Like, oh, fuck yeah, this is how I get followers. So I do that. 3 seconds of her spinning around in her little skimpy outfit, and then it's just me. Hey, just looking for clout. Hit that like button. And then that was up for about an hour. And then it got taken down. Oh, this violates community standards. Like, so she got her video taken down. Oh no, it's still on. Hers is still on.
So
full video.
She allowed a stitch, but then she said you can't do it after you did it.
Oh no, you can't post that video, even though that's a feature on TikTok. It's the ability to stitch with a video.
And when you post on TikTok, you can say you can stitch my.
Yeah, you
my
can
video.
Allow somebody to stitch or duet the video, or you can turn that feature off. And the feature was
so she allowed it, and then you got in trouble. Okay.
That video, her video, the full length video, did not violate community standards, but my 3-second clip of her and then just me being a jackass after it, just sitting there, hey, that violated community standards. Yep, I didn't win that appeal either. So no, the appeal feature on most social media is complete and utter garbage bullshit, and I liken it to the suggestion box in most bosses. The square gray one that's like on the side of their desk just goes right here. Yep, the paper shredder. Yep, nobody gives a shit about your appeal. You just got to hit, like you said, you got to get the right person on the right day to overturn one.
Urasama says the Illuminati contacted Tony and told him if he didn't post that almond milk dance, he'd be banned, sold his soul then and there.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He's right.
Jesus, I can't imagine. It's the year 2021 and Tony's using MIDI files to upload videos to avoid copyright issues. Like, thank you 90s for making MIDI files.
Exactly. That was my first thought of like, I told you about that I was going to make that and I wanted to do that. And I'm like, oh wait, I can't actually use, real music because then we'll get kicked off. So I'm like, oh my God, I can use MIDI files. There's got to be the Hulk Hogan entrance theme MIDI file. And I found it. I'm like, oh, this is so great. I hope people are using that sound on TikTok now. They can thank yours truly for bringing that to the platform.
Yeah.
Because it's long overdue, but I feel good about that. I think I'm probably gonna have to do a sequel because the almond milk it's been getting pretty
Yeah, it's
hot
getting
and heavy once again.
Still,
like
still pretty
Phil's,
controversial.
Phil's tripling down on this. Like I think at this point, if you put him on a deserted island and gave him the choice of drinking animal's blood or almond milk, he'd be like, "Give me a machete. I'm drinking that blood." Poor guy. You got to feel for that guy. You know, one of those guys who just doesn't live in reality and hates facts and data. And,
Yeah,
yeah, it's too bad.
it's a damn shame.
Yeah, too
damn
bad he
shame.
didn't join us tonight.
Yeah, I have a feeling I know why. He
When he
didn't.
threw his phone out the window when we started
Yeah.
talking about the E word.
Yeah, I noticed he quit commenting too. Anyway,
Yes, exactly. He can't comment because his phone's 3 miles back on the fucking gravel road.
All right, we're going to jump to our final story of, well, no, not final, second to last, because we still want to touch on Olympics before we jump to post show.
Right.
But here we go. Minnesota fourth graders told to hide equity survey questions from parents. Okay. This is one of those things where, like, right now you have the CRT freak out debate going on all over online. No matter what side you are, like, I think both sides have like over fucking dramatized this whole goddamn thing. But when shit like this happens, now granted, this was, I think this video that I'm going to show actually came out last July, so this is kind of a rehash of an old story, but it kind of shows like what happens in small communities all over the goddamn place. And, you know, unless some girl, you know, in this class wouldn't have spoke up, nobody really would have fucking known anything. So Alpha News, which I follow all over the place, I used to live close to Minnesota and work in Minnesota. So they're a very good factual news source in the Minnesota area. They are a little right leaning, I'll be honest, but for the most part, they have the breaking news when shit's going down, especially through George Floyd. They were like covering everything and all over the place. But here, let me jump over to this here. So I skipped past her saying her name on there, but so she is with adults at a PTA meeting here, I believe. So this is consented material, so Phil doesn't have to freak out about this too.
I was in fourth grade at Riverview Intermediate School last year. During distance learning, I was asked to complete the equity survey. My teacher said that I could not skip any questions, even when I didn't understand. One question asked us what gender we identified with. I was very confused along with a lot of other classmates. A boy in my class asked my teacher if his mom could explain the question to him because even after the teacher explained it, he still didn't understand. My teacher told him that he was not allowed to ask his mom and that we could not repeat any of the questions to his parents. I want the school board to know how uncomfortable and nervous this made me. My mom always tells me I can tell her anything, but she also tells me I can trust my teachers too. Being asked to hide this from my mom made me feel very uncomfortable. I was doing something wrong.
So this is one of those social contracts being broken, in my opinion. So you hear her explain that the school is having her take this equity survey. She doesn't understand the questions. Her classmates don't understand the questions. They tell the students, I don't care if you don't understand it. Don't tell your parents, answer it regardless, and just move on, shut your mouth. Meanwhile, she explains her mom, you know, says you can tell me anything and you can trust your teacher. So the mom's showing good faith towards the school, towards the state, towards the authorities. And meanwhile, you have the opposite coming. So this is a total breach of that social contract that's been broken several times in the last year and a half. It's been broken longer than that, but the last year and a half, it's been broken at the local level. And this is just another example of that. Did I lose you?
No, this is
there. You are.
Yeah, the first time I saw this, I'm like, okay, this is really gross. This really irks me. This, I don't want to say it triggered me, but yeah, this really annoyed me because I'm like, you gotta establish a trust with your kids, and if you want your kids to be upfront and honest with you, even about bad stuff, not just the good stuff, but the bad stuff, You've got to make sure that they're comfortable and willing to come to you with anything. So of course, if that's the relationship you've established with your children, they're going to come to you with stuff that they don't understand, especially if it's something in the school setting, because who else are you going to go to, especially if your teacher turns their back on you in a time of question. So yeah, essentially this was a distance learning equity test concerning race and gender and many other different things. Now, apparently this was something that the parents could opt their children out of. And this is something that through distance learning, some parents did sit in on. Fine. Problem is, they didn't really give notice when and what the questionnaire was going to be about, or when it was. Some of them didn't get the notifications or the details. So it's a little bit murky on exactly what was shared with the parents, what exactly they were told. I can't verify any of that. But what bothers me is, even if it was just one teacher, if a student comes to you and says, I don't understand the question, can you explain it to me? I don't care if it's a lesson or just a life question or some extracurricular equity test such as this. If your student comes to you and asks, hey, I don't understand this, can you please explain it to me? And their immediate answer is, no, I can't. Well, that's a giant red flag to me. And that means that there's a reason they don't want to answer that. What that might be, I don't know, and I can't infer, and I'm not going to suggest what it might be. But that's a giant red flag. Okay, you won't tell me. Can I ask my parents? No, don't ask your parents. We want you to answer whether you understand or not. Massive red flag. And then the final nail in the coffin, don't repeat it to your parents. No, I'm not comfortable with any of that, and I think that's all bullshit. I will refresh.
Yeah. Yeah. Urasama says, if they don't allow the kids to tell parents what's going on, the parents being able to opt out is irrelevant. Very good point there. This brings up the whole debate on school choice and how that looks in states. You know, what is it? West Virginia being the first state to really push school choice. But, you know, whether it's the mask thing, kids going back to school where it doesn't make sense and wearing masks, or if it's shit like this, or it just, at a certain point, I think the conversation's going to come around more and more often if this continues. That the school choice is gonna have to be a thing. Even the homeschooling thing's becoming more and more popular. And where, you know, where do your taxes go to schools that are, or kids that are being homeschooled, and how does that work out to, you know, make sure whoever's teaching that kid at home can stay home. And, you know, if we're gonna be pulling shit like this, we don't need more Randy Weavers in the world that, you know, drive off to fucking Idaho and get shot by the government, because this is literally what happened to Randy Weaver. He didn't like what was being taught in school, so he wanted to homeschool. They wouldn't let him homeschool, so he moved to a state that would, and then met a bunch of white supremacists, and then the government tried to kill him. Like some crazy weird shit starts with just the simplest fucking things of, I don't want my kids being taught that weird shit in school.
You know, and it comes down, I understand that current events, culture that we live in, you know, it's fine. And we got to, you know, these are just questionnaires. It's simple. And maybe there's nothing nefarious behind it. But if you're silencing the children that are asking questions about the details, and you're just like, no, you just answer it without knowing what the question is really asking. I don't know. You're asking a specific age group to do that doesn't grasp the levity of the situation or the question. And it seems like you're wanting a specific answer. You're wanting to skew with the results of that.
Well, that's what I dislike about school in general is all it is a it's a disciplinary, like, training facility to get kids to learn, behave, and follow fucking basic obedient rules. It's like we're training dogs and cats to piss and shit in the right places and not do anything silly. Like, school to me is kind of crazy. People wonder why it seems like all the kids fucking have ADD nowadays. When you make them sit in fucking daycare and cross their goddamn legs in story time and not run around, they don't get to go outside and play when school's out. When we were kids and school got out, we were like, fuck yeah, let's go run around. Now, today, no, that shit ain't happening anymore. So yeah, it's school to me right now it's becoming dangerously irrelevant because of societal rules that have tacked on after that. So, these kids ain't burning energy. They're being like just forced to follow specific rules and toe the line, or not even toe the line, like fall in line with every single thing. So no fucking wonder like shit's fallen the way it is today. Like nobody's allowed to be a free thinker. You're just supposed to trust everything. I don't know. Is your phone next to your microphone or a computer?
It's fairly close. Here,
There you go. That's better.
No, yeah, I don't know. This bothered. Like, I understand. I'm probably taking a lot of it the wrong way. Maybe it wasn't nearly as nefarious as it initially looked. But when you don't explain the question to a student who's specifically asking you to, hey, help me understand this, and don't tell your parents, that it's just the red flags alone. I don't like it. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. And I want my kid to feel comfortable in school. I want my children to want to go to school. I like the idea of sending my kids to school because not only are they going to learn, well, that's debatable on certain subjects and topics, but some things are more important than others. But I think it's that interaction with other children and their peers and interacting with adults. It's the interaction for me, and you have to get that to really understand how the world works. Like you don't get the same learning experience at homeschool and then just, okay, you're 18, you graduated homeschool, right? Now go to a job interview and interact with people that you've never interacted with on a scale that you're not familiar with. I get it, and I understand the benefits of both, but there's got to be a blend there. And if the school that you're supposed to trust to send your kids to is telling you flat out verbatim, don't tell your parents. No, I would probably lose my shit. Very much.
I
so.
agree.
And here we go.
And there he went.
Here.
Well. How are we doing, you beautiful gentlemen and all you beautiful people this evening? You thought you were almost going to make it without your King of Extreme coming. Now, gentlemen, there was a subject that came up a little earlier that was near and dear, close to my heart, that I feel needs to be addressed now. Oh, and you're getting an echo with Phil KOE. That's amazing. You're getting 2 Phils for the price of 1. Who is that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because I'm getting an echo back at me. But anyways, so
I'm not getting
let me
an
know
echo.
if you're getting it in the audience, folks. But I'm taking my headphones off because this is something what I'm drinking tonight is beautiful. God's own cow's milk right here. And here we go. Ziggy, zaggy.
Yeah, and Phil, I think your mic is the wrong one's hooked up. I think that's why you got such a feedback loop.
Did this motherfucker just chug a goddamn
Whoa!
vitamin?
Yes! For the cows, motherfucker! Yeah! Woo! Yes, that just happened. Oh, Lord Almighty.
All right. Yeah, your mic sounds weird. You're crackly. Anyway, let's go through the comments. Let's see. Geneva must have shitternet. Yes, they do. If it ain't Phil 20, Phil 20, 24.
Well, thank you, Urasama. It is I, your King of Extreme, and I am running for president in 2024. God damn, that was brilliant. That was beautiful. Oh, there's a little drop there. Couldn't
where
believe
the
that.
echo's coming from.
Beautiful cows.
Bill's echoing like a motherfucker.
I don't hear it.
Yeah, I'm getting it on my end too. So.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. I know. That was a pretty. Hey, there it went. Now it's gone.
Yeah.
Sweet. So it wasn't me.
Now.
All right. So, folks, There you go. I had to do that for all you beautiful people and for all of you beautiful dairy farmers out there, and to avenge you, the makers of True Milk. And yes, this beautiful, delicious product just went right down like silk.
Phil,
Just like
to be
so.
fair, you are very used to chugging thick, milky white. Anyway, next topic.
You know, that insult would have worked better if you weren't on Windows 95.
Dude, you're on Windows 90 fucking... You're on
I
goddamn
got 98,
Apple.
motherfucker. I'm on Windows
got
98,
Apple too.
motherfucker.
You're on Apple II
Oh.
over there with your goddamn
Woo.
Echo.
Yes. I mean, when I saw those vicious lies being
sound like
stated
Pac-Man.
about your King of Extreme, I knew there's only one drink to bring to this. And Tony's like, did you just chug all that fucking milk? You're damn right I
What
did.
kind of fucking psychopath chugs vitamin
milk.
D milk?
Vitamin D, one that wants the strongest bones imaginable, the one that wants to be the king, folks. Yeah, that's who, a king.
Dalton says we all know that wasn't milk.
It was
Enough
almond
about
milk.
almond milk, though. That's not. You're right. It's
It
not
was
real
almond
milk. Oh God, no, I wouldn't drink
All
that
right, so
sugar.
what's our final topic before we move over to the post?
Why Phil is awesome and milk is better than almond milk?
No,
Or extract, really.
let's talk the drama that has come from the Olympics that nobody cared about. A couple of interesting stories have come out. So here's where our standings are. So day one, we got 0 gold medals. First time in 60 years the U.S. did not get a gold medal on day one. And so Twitter was just running off. Oh no, America's not going to win medals. This is going to be the worst Olympics ever. And now here we are. We have 41 medals, 14 gold, 16 silver, 11 bronze. China has 16 gold, 7 and 10. So, you know, of course. And then Russia in third. ROC. I love how they changed that. That way, all the doping people that got busted last year, now they fly under the ROC flag instead of, now they can get away with their doping, apparently.
That matters. Like, what? So it's like, I thought the idea was the competitor wasn't allowed to compete, not the, you just got to change. Like, it's like, well, I was in the NWO, but I'm in the NWO black and red. CC, it's different now.
It's different now.
It's all fresh start.
Yeah.
This was really dumb. Now, but yeah, like when I heard about that, I was like, really? You just gonna just change your flag? Kind of, not really, and you just. But now let's
get away with it.
I want to see straight. Well, you know, I would love to do such a thing, but unfortunately, our rapscallion ne'er-do-well no-goods in Congress have actually banned the sale of raw milk. So it's very hard to get raw milk these days. So unfortunate. A lot of good traditional German recipes actually call for raw milk. So terrible.
I know
terrible.
dairy farmers. I know.
So do
dairy
I.
Farms. I can.
Oh,
Just so we can do this.
oh, yes. Allegedly.
Breaking the law.
Allegedly. Like, that's the thing that gets the episode pulled down. Is you're
Yeah.
Oh my
fucking
God.
raw milk.
Drink unpasteurized milk. Fucking banned.
Tony trying to sell unpasteurized milk. Oh, you terrorist.
Just like that, you're worse than Alex Jones. Boom.
Let me tell you something. Now, this one is kind of like
That would be utterly awesome.
Nice.
well done. Well done. Give yourself 2 gold stars for that one. This one is kind of interesting. This particular Simone Biles story, because there's like, it's fascinating that something like this has such division. And like, to me, it's like, we don't know what's going inside her head. I always say I'm not, I'm not a mind reader. So like, if there is some really bad things going on in her head at the moment, you probably don't want her. I mean, like, all right, now there's all this bad shit going on in your head. Now go out and do some gymnastics. Come on, do some flips. Like, yeah, that's not generally a good thing. So like, we don't know what the deal is, but I gotta let my dog in.
I think it's not just that. I think, I think her head's not in it. I think there's some. personal stuff going on that I've heard a couple different things. There's some really dark personal stuff that she's had to deal with, and not just that, but she could also potentially be injured as well. So you can't really expect somebody with the wrong mind frame and not in the physical peak of their capability to go out and perform. And especially like you look at there was a story I saw on Facebook the other day of somebody who was forced to skip their injury, go out there and fucking perform. Well, it went badly and they ended up getting paralyzed and it ruined the rest of their life. So these are still human beings, folks. Like Olympians aren't superheroes. These are still real people.
Yes, they are, Tony. Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
How dare you say that about Caitlyn Jenner?
Do you think that?
I don't know why we're pretending like people are.
Now,
so
I got. I'm
personal.
sorry, but I do you suppose that this girl who's wanting to get out of the Olympics because of mental health reasons, perfectly valid, and we've got this Russian story of people who are basically getting around the doping requirements. Do you suppose this girl could just have that poor girl who got kicked out of the Olympics for smoking weed just come in and replace her? Like, what the fuck? I mean, if we're having people getting around doping allegations from switching their flags and they still get to compete, what the flying fuck was this girl banned for at all? And also, the big kicker on this is in Japan, she takes Ritalin, and it's something that she's been taking for a long time. And in Japan, things like Ritalin and Adderall are completely illegal for any kind of mood disorder or for basically most mental health usages. Like Ritalin, there's some very slim usages that you can use it for in Japan, but not what she was prescribed for. And so if you can imagine, she's been on this anxiety medication for years, and she gets to the Olympics and they say, you can't use them anymore. They're illegal in this country. Do you think now her entire brain chemistry has actually been changed? Do you think that's going to cause some anxiety?
Possibly.
You think that might cause a mental health episode? I mean, it's like you can almost make a case for Japan trying to like game the Olympics in their favor here. Like, I mean, now granted, that's a pretty far stretch, but you could almost make that case. There's a lawyer out there that's like, ooh, that's a good one.
Here's the thing. I haven't looked this up in a while, but the amount of money that the Olympics pulls in just from advertisers and people watching on TV and shit is just like ungodly amounts of fucking money. That's why everybody fights to have the Olympics in their country. Now, these people that are competing there don't get a fucking thing other than that gold medal and a pat on the back and your place in the history books, which is cool if you're up for, something like that. But most of these people come home with a gold medal, silver or bronze with zero fame, zero things to show for it. This girl, was heading into this known as like one of the greatest gymnastics competitors of all time. She was supposed to just dominate this whole thing. So you got the pressure of that, kind of what Phil said. Sure, you can throw that in there, but I kind of like it in a way. And I don't know if this is her intent, but it's almost like a fuck you to the rank and file of like, hey, show up, perform. I don't care how you feel. I don't care if you're injured. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care about your mental health. You get there, you compete, and you sell us fucking ads. You get people to watch TV and make us fucking money. And she goes, yeah, I'm not doing it. That I have a totally different take on this than most people. I've seen this, and we're seeing it in the comments here. We got she entered the Olympics, turned her back on America, then quit before the final round. Sounds like she just sucked as a person. Shrug. Not gonna say she isn't late. I don't think she was the one that turned her back, was it?
Yeah, that was two different people.
That was a different girl. Is it valid to quit your team in the final round because your head isn't in the right place? This is where I think we take sports too serious. And this would be my one judgment on there of when it comes to physical, mental health. This is where you got to worry about you. And if your team doesn't understand, then they're fucking pricks. If your country doesn't understand, they're fucking pricks. At a certain point, I'm not going to sacrifice myself to like do the splits in midair and then land on a beam. That is not something that I am gonna die for. Fuck that. Like that sounds so silly to me.
Well, the way you
it leads into the next one. Leads into the next one. LeBron James pull out of Game 7 the finals because of mental health reasons? Yes, I do, because he's a fucking pussy. He would.
Yes, exactly.
Would he? And now his reaction would be different because everybody thinks LeBron's the woke, awesome guy of the world. So I don't know. I hate everybody's takes on this. Charlie Kirk fucking had this long rant about how she fucking is just the worst thing to join the Olympics. I think Charlie Kirk's a fucking cunt anyway.
You just mentioned something though. You just mentioned how this is about ad revenue and go out there and perform. I don't care how you feel. Didn't we just essentially abolish the NCAA for exactly the same fucking thing?
Yeah.
Making money off of somebody else's actual performance. So, I'm not going to pretend to know what this girl's going through one way or the other, physically, mentally, her personal reasons. I secretly
hope she's giving the big fucking middle finger to the elites that are making all the money off of this. Like, I really hope that's what she's doing, because she's gonna come home. She's gonna fucking be on every talk show. She's gonna be fucking interviewed everywhere. She's gonna make fucking money, and she's still gonna be a world-class gymnast.
Sports are voluntary, folks. You can decide to stop whenever you want, regardless of if you're making money or not. Like, you don't have to do anything for anybody else. And especially concerning the Olympics, because we only do this every once in a while, and then all of a sudden everybody pretends to be patriotic concerning Team America at the Olympics, even though you're not following these people or individuals or teams or sports any other time that it's not on your TV. So it's not like this is some diehard patriotic thing. Like, maybe for some people it is. I could be wrong, but this is still an individual human being, and let's not pretend to know what she's going through, and her reasons are going to be her reasons. And LeBron would absolutely fucking flop onto the ground and pretend like he broke his ankle when he barely got nudged.
Didn't that already happen?
Elbow. Now, if I may just kind of posit one thing here. We're talking about an athlete's mental state, and just suck it up, and that's what a lot of people are saying. Now, I've got some experience in combat sports, and I've seen it with my own two eyes, and I've also just seen it in other fights where the coach, they're sitting there, they're talking to the fighter, and the fighter's like, "Coach, I can't do it." Like, they're either too scared, they've been beat up too much, their body just doesn't work, and that's when the coach throws in the towel. And there's a reason why you have a throwing in of the towel in combat sports, because there is a time when your fighter just ain't up for it, and you as the coach have to make that decision. And so to me, I view this as pretty much the same as her coach throwing in the towel. It happens. She wasn't in the right place. A great example, Royce Gracie versus Sakuraba in their Pride fight that went for over 90 minutes. After the 15-minute round, Royce, he's looking up at his older brother and his father. Sakuraba has been kicking his leg for the better part of an hour. He looks up at his brother and his dad, "Dad, Royce, or no, Dad, I can't remember the other one. Please, I can't stand. Get me out of here." You're not throwing him into another round, okay? You're throwing the towel and you're getting him out of there. And so that is one thing that I would posit is, I'm not saying, I totally get it, understand, but I would say that's at least one piece of insight to at least consider.
This one here, this comment, this is the only thing that if we find that she knew she was going to back out before she got there. So Ursum says, if you're at the Olympics, you shouldn't be the kind of person who just stops whenever they feel like it. Bad person to represent country unless it's an injury. Now, if she went there...
lost.
Right. If she went there, though, with the intent of not actually competing, she was never going to do anything and denied somebody else the opportunity to go, that would be pretty selfish and annoying. But there's no reason to believe that's the case right now. But if that is the case, then shame on her. I'll flip sides on this one so goddamn quick.
Mm-hmm.
If she denied somebody else the opportunity to go there,
that's different.
then
Hickson,
that's totally
that
different.
was the guy I was thinking of. Sorry, I couldn't
Hickson
remember.
Gracie, yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
He was looking up at his dad, Helio, and Hickson's like, "Guys, get me out." So I totally understand that. So like I say, like I've seen it with my own two eyes when I was, kind of in the back with a fight team one time, and a fight didn't go a guy I was training with's way, and the trainer had to throw in the towel. Like he just was not fit to go out to that third round. There was just no way he was going to get crushed and injured.
Dalton doesn't believe you.
Well, don't get me wrong. Jealousy is so unbecoming of you, sir. I mean, I get it. All this awesomeness just in one package right here. I know it's hard to believe that there's even more awesomeness on top of it. I know. It's very hard. It's very hard.
Let's see. Bowyer? You're all far too lenient.
You're all far too lenient.
Sports are a battlefield of honor and glory, mental toughness, one of the most important aspects.
True. And she didn't win. She could have won, but the mental fortitude game was not there, so she does not hold a gold medal.
There's parts of that. Like I remember playing sports too. If people's heads aren't into it, especially on a team sport, you don't want them. Like if you, I remember even in junior high looking over at some of the starters and being like, hey bro, like you here today? Like we'd be getting ready to play a basketball game, and you just tell they just didn't look good. They didn't feel right, and they weren't moving very fast. And you're like, yeah, this dude's not in it. Like I wouldn't pass that guy the fucking ball. I ignored him the whole fucking thing until they fucking took him out. Like I was like, I ain't giving him the fucking ball. He's fucking everything up. Like, so yeah, if she was going to be that one, she took herself out of the game, then more power to her.
Yeah. Like now, I don't know, what was her sport specifically? Was it a one-on-one thing, or was there a team aspect to it?
But I think it's points. Team points.
Okay, but it's still like it's you basically versus yourself at that point. So
well, I think it's the cumulative points between you and your teammates. But
you know what I mean? Like there's nobody else on the mat with you, but it's just you.
Right.
If you mess up or you fuck up or you do it, it's all on you.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I could understand. Yeah, that's some amazing pressure.
Urasama says you don't want someone who's not in it, but you don't want them to leave during the final battle when they have no replacement. Well, of course
Very
not.
true.
But
jumping on a beam is not a battle. God damn it.
No, it's not. It's not a battle. But the other thing is, here's the thing. The Olympics.
Like if I was in a gunfight and she ran
the battle
away
of
with
Stalingrad took care of that.
A life after this.
The Soviets in Stalingrad totally took care of that. You're not retreating. Gang. Oh no, they're shooting us when we try to retreat. I guess we'll stay in the battle. So yeah, that was Stalingrad. So yeah, like Chicken says, there is some differences between war and sport here, because at the end of the day, everybody gets to go home, hopefully, with sport. So
Dalton says she dropped out of 5 personal events as well, so that's 100% on her.
Oh,
wow. And then everything in sports is a battle, Chicken.
But yeah, with the one-on-one sports, which is really the only reason I watch the Olympics, is for like the judo, taekwondo, boxing. They got rid of fucking wrestling. After that, I really quit caring. Like when they got rid of wrestling, I was like,
yeah, reading this back, so like I'm speaking in a way that I'm like, oh yeah, it's just jumping on a beam. But until you're doing it, it's like playing Duck Hunt 10, 15 years later. Look at me now. All of a sudden you get into this shit. So like I get it, Urasama. When I start playing these things, playing sports, playing games, when I'm doing it, I'm with you. But when I'm not doing it and I'm watching, I don't care.
That's just it. There is a life after these events. Like this isn't the rest of your life. It just doesn't stop after that. Like you have to remember that these are still individual people, human beings. And if their head's not in it, or if they're injured and they can't actually physically compete or compete up to the standards that they have set for themselves, especially being an Olympian, then why go out there and try to injure yourself further for one moment of glory that's going to fall apart anyway if you're injured? Or why go out there and tarnish the rest of your mental health if there's really something fucked up going on in your head because of something that happened to you? Like I get it. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks for Team America. Go USA. But hey, and it sucks for USA. But hey,
well, I think the Olympics,
and you've got to respect this until we find out the rest of the details as to exactly why. And like you said, Chicken, if she went into this knowing the full intent was to back out at the last minute, then yes, that's a giant fuck you, and that was intentional. But I don't think this was intentional, so I'm more interested to see how this pans out.
Oh boy! Now I was trying to think. I lost my place there for a moment. Ah, damn! I had a brilliant one. It was going to be brilliance. It was going to come from the mountain tops, but
I'll let Phil answer this one. Do you think Tom Brady would have given the ball to his backup after throwing a few interceptions in the Super Bowl? Phil, our football expert.
That now, touchdown Tom Brady would never dream of doing such a thing. And then basically, like, even if he did throw an interception, he would just do the Superman where he flies around the other opposite end, how the earth rotates, and make time go back, catch the ball again, and then throw the pass properly. So that's something to keep in mind there. So
all right. On that note, should we move it to the post? Jesus.
Yes, folks. Got post show link dropping in all of the chats, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or on Twitch. Feel free to jump on over. You don't have to turn your camera on. You can jump in with audio only, or you don't even have to talk to us. You can just listen in if you care. Otherwise, we're gonna jump on over there. Any last words, fellas? We'll start with Phil. Anything you want to say to the folks before we sign off?
Folks, this has been an amazing evening. It's been one where I think we will find out tomorrow whether the Dog and Chicken Show right here is a new home for you to catch all of your big bucking empire entertainment. But folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us this evening on the Dog and Chicken Show, episode 98, Return of the Mask. Be sure to like, share, subscribe right here to the Dog and Chicken Show, the backup channel of Big Buckin' Empire on YouTube. You'd better be a subscriber to both so you don't miss 1 second of KOE content or any of these marvelous, beautiful people here at Big Buckin' Empire. Also check him out on Facebook. I am your King of Extreme, Phil KOE. You can find me at KOE Nation on YouTube and Twitch. I am the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower, the Lord of the Scottish Highlands, thanks to these rapscallion ne'er-do-wells. And folks, also check us out at Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and Spotify. I am happy, elated, excited to be here with all of you beautiful people. I also got to enjoy some of God's own dairy milk from a beautiful, beautiful dairy cow with all you beautiful people. The milk wars will continue, folks. But be sure to like, share, subscribe right here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. God bless every last one of you. Gentlemen, take it away.
I got to stretch after that. Jesus.
Yeah.
I nailed the all that being said, Osama. I hope you saw that. Fucking perfect. Right on time with Phil.
That was awesome.
Anyway, go ahead, Tony.
Westlin4 on TikTok.
Yes. Follow Lynn on TikTok, Westlin4. And follow me, Tony the Rod 2.0. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot. We touched on a lot of stuff, and yeah, I'm more interested to see just how nefarious we were tonight on the tube of views, and we'll see if we still have a channel tomorrow, because yeah, we got a little bit spicier than we probably anticipated. But no, it's all allegedly, it's all opinion-based conversation, and I think honest opinion-based conversation is still very important. It's not something that should be silenced. It's not something that should be censored. It's not something that should be hidden. I think free thinking individuals are very important and should be given the chance to be enlightened to another way of thinking. And how can you do that if you silence them? Because it's just going to further the idea that, hey, if they're wrong to begin with and you shut them up, they're going to think that they're right. So why silence them? Why not open the conversation to others? Why not open that thought to other people to give them the chance to enlighten those individuals? I think just shutting people up and censoring them is completely counterproductive. And again, we're not experts. This is all opinion-based. This is all just free thought. Don't silence us. Don't shut us up. Don't ban us. help us. Help us help you. Help yourselves help us. It's a give and take, folks. Without us, there is no you, social media. Without you, we're just talking to ourselves in the basement. Who wants to do that? But I digress. Chicken, take it away.
Fair enough. I learned tonight Russell's Reserve single barrel non-chill is pretty damn good. I give it I'm going overall 3.5. We can grade it on the full scale some other time, Phil, but pretty good stuff. It's yeah, I'm satisfied. Needs a little ISO because it is 110 proof. It is a little bit better with the cube in there.
So it's a little soft.
Now, Tony will like it. He likes that 110 shit. But yeah,
I got 131 Jack Daniels here, T, that you can give it a shot. We can review it.
Yeah, that might be kind of strong.
Might be. But yeah, little toffee, little vanilla, but overall, really good stuff. Really appreciate it. Outside of that, folks, we covered a lot of shit tonight, from masks, the vaccines, to Biden wiping his ass and potentially wipe my butt. No, fun times. 2 weeks from today, we will, or maybe on Friday, 2 weeks. We'll let you know. We'll post it. But episode 100 will be epic. We will have special guests. We will have all kinds of shenanigans going on. Episode 100, 2 weeks from now. We will have episode 99. Also, 1 week from today, will probably be pre-recorded, but we'll still make it fun. We'll still drink along with y'all. Be sure to be here to catch that every week. And Phil already pimped everything out, so I'm not gonna do any more. Cheers.
Get it. One more thing, folks. My All Tomorrows book is going to drop in the next few days. I've completed the audiobook. KW Nation on YouTube, check it out. The full audiobook of All Tomorrows is going to drop in a few days. I'm very proud of it. All right, I'm sorry.
Have some acid or get really high when you're listening to it. I'm sure it'll enhance the experience, allegedly. All right. Cheers, folks. Appreciate you as always. We'll catch you over at the post show. If not, we'll see you all next week. And as it doesn't matter what I do, I always forget to have the intro or outro ready. So appreciate y'all. Love you. Bye.
And see if it just smooths itself out.
Back, tell you what I'll do. If I ever get back, I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost, we gotta take it down. Let you down slow, it's hard.